We warn our viewers that this video will contain graphic scenes and disturbing material. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello ladies and gentlemen. What happens during a genocide? This video will explain to you what happens in a genocide. But first, what is a genocide? Genocide is the deliberate killing of a large group of people, especially those of an ethnic group or religion. The word comes from the Greek word genos, meaning race, and the Roman word side, which means killing. The first stage is classification. All cultures have categories to distinguish people by ethnicity, race, religion, or nationality, such as Asian, Black, White, and Hispanic. The second stage is symbolization. This is when names or symbols are used to classify a group. This is where people are distinguishing the targeted colors by colors and clothing. An example would be the Jews having to wear the Star of David on their arms. The third stage is discrimination. This is where discrimination is apparent. The dominant group uses law, custom, and political power to deny the rights of other groups. The targeted group may not have civil rights or even be granted citizenship. An example would be where Jews are stripped of German citizenship and prohibited their employment into the government in World War II. The fourth stage is dehumanization. This is where one group denies the humanity of the other group. Members of it are shown as equals with animals, vermin, insects, or diseases. At this stage, there is hate propaganda in print and on radios against the discriminated group. Here is an example where the Tutsis are depicted as rats and cockroaches. The fifth stage is organization. Genocide is always organized, usually by the government. They often use militias to deny their responsibility. For example, a Janjaweed in Darfur. Sometimes the organization is informal. For example, the Hindu mobs. Here is an example where the Khmer Rouge are organized. The sixth stage is polarization. Polarization is when extremists drive the group apart. Hate groups broadcast polarizing propaganda. Laws may forbid intermarriage or social interaction. A perfect example is the Nuremberg Law in Germany during World War II. The Annual Party passed out this law which institutionalized many of the racial theories prevalent in Nazi ideology. The seventh stage is preparation. Perpetrator group leaders plan the final solution to the targeted group. They often use euphemisms to cloak their intentions, such as referring to their goals as ethnic cleansing, purification, or counter-terrorism. They start building armies and train their troops. They fill the population with fear of the victim group. This is an example of children being trained in the Armenian genocide. The eighth stage is persecution. Victims are identified and separated out because of their ethnic or religious identity. Death lists are drawn up. In genocide, members of victim groups may be forced to wear identifying symbols. Their property is often taken away. Sometimes they are even put into ghettos, transported into concentration camps. Genocidal massacres begin. They are acts of genocide because they intentionally destroy part of a group. This image shows the Christians persecuted by the Muslims. The ninth stage is extermination. Extermination begins and quickly becomes a mass killing legally called genocide. It is extermination to the killers because they do not believe their victims to be fully human. This is a picture of the victims of extermination in the Holocaust. The 10th stage is denial. This stage lasts throughout and always follows a genocide. The perpetrators of genocide dig up the mass graves, burn all the bodies. The perpetrators try to cover up the evidence and intimidate the witnesses. They deny that they committed any crimes, and often blame what happened on the victims. They stop investigations of the crimes, and continue to govern the country until driven from power by force. There they remain with impunity, like Pol Pot or Idi Amin, unless they are captured and trialed. Genocide is a process with 10 stages. The process is not linear. Stages may occur simultaneously. Logically, later stages must be preceded by earlier stages, but all stages continue to operate throughout the process. Thank you for watching our video, and we hope you have learned more about genocide from this video.